Hey, Sooner Nation, you kind of caught the theme there. You didn't have our normal intro, so it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. So we figure we better get on here and have our first ever Christmas edition of Champion Standard. I guess I'll play Santa, you play Elf, whatever. We'll
What?
do it.
Why am I not
You
Santa?
feel shortchanged, don't you?
I don't know. I
But
probably can rock those pointy ears pretty good.
yeah, no,
Look all like elfish.
yep,
I think I got
exactly.
elfish features, maybe. I just got
Uh,
done watching. We just did a binge watch of the Santa Claus. I keep
mm,
forgetting how good those movies are with Tim
the
Allen.
Tim Allen, yeah.
Yeah, Tim Allen. I mean, is he the goat of Santas? Is
Can't
he the
argue
greatest of
with
all
you.
time? I
Maybe
mean, is there another actor
Billy
that
Bob Thornton.
played Bad Santa? I try to add that to the list. So my wife she created a list of all the movies that we wanted to watch, Home Alone, Santa Claus, and other than that, I went to that list and I added Bad Santa. And I came back and she scratched it off and said
Yeah.
no. It's like, dang, come on.
It's
I did
amazing.
get Die Hard though. I
There
did
was
get Die
actually
Hard.
a sequel to Bad Santa, right?
Yes, there's Bad Santa too. I
That's
don't think I've
that's
seen
that's
that one.
no, I haven't either. I'm always shocked on what gets a sequel sometimes, But
Right.
yeah, so yeah, he's Rob. I'm Brad. If you don't know us by now, well, you've been missing out all year long. But thanks for joining us again. Yeah, this is our Christmas episode, so really just want to wish everyone out there just a Merry Christmas. Hope you're getting to spend time with your family. Everyone's
Mhm.
well, and you're getting to just enjoy all the time. I know growing up, I got to spend time with cousins and stuff that I don't get to spend time with anymore. I just remember as a childhood growing up, it wasn't just our family. We got to travel around and see everyone.
Mhm.
So really appreciate my parents for you know taking us around, getting to see the whole family during the holidays.
Right.
That's something I can certainly remember well. But yeah, I hope everyone's doing well out there. But
Yeah, it's a good time to purge digital devices, and it's a good
hmm
time to just step away from the socials for a bit and just Christmas movies, cookies, candles, and of course presents and lots of food. Again,
yeah,
lots of food.
yeah, yeah, and you're right in the middle of the whole Santa thing with your boy. I mean,
Right.
I did that for those first, I don't know how many years. It felt like I did it for the first 10, 12 years,
Yeah.
whatever. Just making the cookies, and Santa is real. I don't want to make sure I don't
Oh
want to
yeah, yeah.
spoil that for
Yeah,
anyone,
my
but
my boy met Santa for the first time this year. Um we went to Sooner Mall, and so we were standing in line, and there was this little girl that was in front of us, and maybe 2, maybe 3, about the same age as my boy. Um That's the same name, Rob. So like Rob's sitting there and he's like just waiting his turn, and he sees this little girl in front of him who's losing her mind. She's like coming up closer to Santa, and she just starts bawling, and or they're trying to take pictures, and she would see her mom and smile, and then just kind of turn to her right and see this big old white beard, and just and so I'm like, oh man, I don't know what Rob's gonna do. I don't know what he's gonna do. I don't know what he's gonna do. You get up there, he is cool as a cucumber. He climbs up there, he sits down, he's looking all handsome, and I'm like, awesome, great. And then for whatever reason, a finger starts to get closer and closer to his nose and just starts picking his nose. I'm like, no, what are you doing? And so we're
huh,
trying to bring his arm down, and
uh-huh.
he's just sitting there all like, and then just like creeps a finger. I'm like, no, 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 no. All right, take a picture. And yeah, yeah, he just kept. So there's like pictures, and even Santa, you could see he's holding one. He was holding his left
Mhm.
arm down, but his right, he's bringing that finger up to pick his nose, and I'm like, he wasn't doing this at all while we were in line.
Right,
Like,
right.
right when we got to taking pictures, he could not stop picking his nose. Oh my
That's
god.
hilarious.
So we got pictures, good pictures, but you can
Mhm.
see, like, one picture, the fingers coming up and it's across his chest, so it looks like he's doing the number 1. He's
Uh-huh.
going, "Number 1," and I'm like,
But
"Oh,
you
we
just
coulda had, like, an OU shirt, and he's just doing the 1." Ah, dang it.
oh,
Anyway, but yeah, thought it was funny. We
yeah.
we couldn't stop laughing.
I remember eating the cookies and then making sure I ate part of the cookies, so I left a little bit of cookie crumbs on the plate, and then, of course, drinking half the milk, so it looks like, that was gone too. Just
Yeah,
the stuff you tried to do as a parent just to, keep it
right.
going, and
Yeah.
I don't know, I remember when she was 12 or 13, and someone finally ruined it for her. I'm like, "Well, here's
Mhm.
the deal. Those who believe receive," and that's just what we kept with. She goes, "Well, I'll keep believing as long as I'm receiving stuff." I'm like, "Sounds good to me." So,
Nice.
we've just kind of stuck with that over the years. Now she's 21 going on 22. Still enjoys a Christmas because of that. So,
Right. Yeah, yeah.
but yeah, let's talk a little OU football while we're on here. Before I do that, I wanted to thank our sponsors, Woodworks Distillery up north. Yep. You got your vodka there. I got my bourbon here. We're gonna have to stock up before the New Year's, of course. So I might come in to see David, and
Oh,
you'll
yeah.
have to, you'll have to go see your guys at 9 East there in Norman.
Sure.
But appreciate our sponsors this past year. Yeah. So let's see. We wanted to get into a little transfer portal talk. I know it's been hot and heavy now for the last couple of weeks. I think it opened on the 9th, so we're about 2 weeks into the portal season officially.
Mhm.
Numbers wise, I think we've sent about 26 into the portal,
Wow.
and we've gotten 8 out of the portal to come in. Um, we kind
That's
of
what I
knew
remember
that.
you were saying, right? You were thinking
Well,
30
yeah,
and 10, give or
yeah,
take?
yeah, just rough numbers. I think we had 125 to 130 roster spots, and that has to get down to 105 at some point.
Right.
We don't know if it's like it may just be by the start of the season in August of this next year, but so we knew this purge was going to come. So yeah, just the numbers, you know, somehow deduct 20 somehow. So you lose 30, gain 10, however you want to play the math. And
Yeah.
of course the portal window, I don't know how. I know there's this first portal window. It's from like the 9th to the 28th in December, but if players lose coaches or there's players in playoff games, I think there's like a extended portal. I don't really
Right.
know how that it works exactly. And then of course there'll be another spring portal
Hmm.
in May. So yeah,
Yeah.
so lost a few names into the portal that um, kind of make us, you know, cringe just a little bit, whether it's Jackson Arnold or Nick
Yeah.
Anderson or just a whole host of
Yeah.
receivers that, yeah. So it's all about, trying to upgrade. So, but
Who are
we,
your 2 players that you miss? And it's
that,
probably
that-
this who are the 2.
Nick Anderson, I hated to see go in there. And I can't even remember the full list now that you put me on the spot.
I just had it up, and
Yeah, yeah, I'll let you pull it up. But
I
um,
literally just had it up, and I don't
yeah,
know why I
there
closed it.
was no, there was someone else besides Nick. And well, it's really three of them. If I had to put it in order, I would say Nick Anderson, Jaleel Farouk, and Jackson Arnold.
Yeah, the Farouk was my he's one of my guys I've had for a while. I've always thought he was a sneaky good receiver 3 and 4 and a receiver room depth chart that we had. I just always thought he was a heck of a player. Like I- I'll I won't forget the Bedlam game he had 2 years ago with DG, and he was just beating his guy over and over again, 4 or 5 times, just go routes, fades, whatever you want to call them, flies. He was stacking his receiver, and he had opportunities for huge plays, and DG just could not throw him the ball. And throughout, I went back and rewatched that year, and I was like, man, Farouk was getting open a lot and was just missed. So here's the list. Going out: Nick Anderson, Jackson Arnold, Dasan, Josh Bates, Eugene Brooks, Farouk, Sharp, Brendan Thompson, Angela Anthony, Makari Vickers, JJ Hester, Gary Hatchett, Petaway, Khalib Hicks, and Jaden Rowe. For me, like my two is definitely Farouk and and Dasan. I always felt
Yeah.
like Dasan, we were just, I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was Brent valuing um, having a third corner more often in that spot versus having a guy that's a little bit that's more athletic. Because if
Mhm.
you're looking at athletic profiles, Hassan's a plus athlete compared to Kendall, but Kendall
Right.
is the better corner. And it just seemed like his defense from the first year when we had Deshaun White, who was again kind of that plus athlete. I mean, he's in the NFL now playing. We moved over to more of that third corner role for that spot versus having a plus athlete that can do a little bit of everything, to having that third corner just shut down slot receivers.
Yeah.
It's a different philosophy. Both can be successful, but we just never really took advantage of his athletic profile and really, because if you're going to say he's very close as far as profile wise to Isaiah Simmons,
Sure.
which Brent sent to the NFL, is still in the NFL.
Mhm.
When we think cheetah, we think Isaiah Simmons. He was like the prototypical cheetah that everyone, you know, would say this is that's the spot. But year over year, philosophically, we've kind of moved to that third corner, and then lo and behold, we lose a plus athlete in Dasan to Nebraska. What? Okay, so that one kind of stung a bit, and I've already talked about Farouk. I've always been a fan of Farouk's game.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm with you on Dasan. Dolby, they just had maybe a bigger need for Dolby this year than Dasan, like you said. We're just a little bit thinner at corner this year, and coverage guys maybe than the other positions. So
yeah,
yeah, but yeah, the eight guys we got coming in. So we got 3 wide receivers, 2 offensive linemen, a punter, a tight end, and a quarterback. And
so
go ahead.
we've talked about Mateer, right?
Hmm.
So we'll talk about him. He's we said in the last pod that he's going to be the number one player in the portal. Lo and behold, he is. We'll talk about him more. What are your two players coming in, Brad, that you like besides Mateer? Because that's low hanging fruit. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
what were the two
So
guys that you're like so far today you think could be impact players for us?
no, I think Isaiah Sategna. Sorry,
Sategna.
I'll
Yeah.
butcher names until they're like household names in our program, of course. So the wide receiver from Arkansas, I just feel like he's a little bit of he's like Brennan Thompson, kind of on steroids, maybe a little bit. I don't know who to
Yeah.
compare him to other than that.
No,
So
he's totally like that replacement role
yeah,
replacement there.
um, and then I like the Derek Simmons kids out of Western Carolina.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I was kind of we always get we got the Stanford guy in, we got Mateer coming in from Washington State. We get these guys coming in from these other P4 schools, but I always like the guy that comes in with maybe a chip on his shoulder from, he's coming in from Western Carolina, the offensive lineman, Derek Simmons. And I just think he's very kind of underrated in this class. And I think he can come in and potentially just, push for a little starting time. I want to say he's a tackle. I think both the two
Yeah, he's a
linemen we
tackle.
got are both tackles. Uh, the Stanford guy's great, but yeah, I think the Simmons guy is just kind of underrated. So he's kind of my under the radar guy out of the two. What about you as far as the two that are, I'm sorry, the 8 that are coming in? Who do you like?
Yeah, I was looking at what perked my interest was Sategna, and just looking at Arkansas' situation, he would have been like definitely number 2 receiver for them. He was going to be their number 2 receiver. And he could have he I mean, looking at their depth chart and stuff, I mean, I know the portal and free agent season, but over there, a lot of them were saying that he was gonna have a huge role for them in that offense. And if you look at his stats and his production wise, he's increased year over year. He's only getting a little bit better, a little bit better. A guy who has 10.8 100-meter speed. His dad's a track and field coach. He's got the speed. He runs through the slot. We lost a lot of our slot receivers. I think the role kind of is open there for him. I don't think he would have jumped ship from Arkansas to OU if there wasn't some sort of understanding that he was going to be have a big role
Involved? Yeah.
next. Yeah, he's going to be involved. So I see that as a plus. Um, the other one that I haven't had a chance to really dive into, but the what's his name? Dang it, I just had it. The
Giovanni Gibson.
yeah, Giovanni Gibson. We were
Hmm.
just talking about him before the show.
Yeah, yeah.
Another big time receiver. He was
Same
the best
state.
player on. Yeah, best player. Yeah, same state.
Hmm.
Best player on a really bad team. This team was terrible. He was the best player on that team, and then not only that, but he was like the best player in the conference. And all he did was just stack numbers. So let me do it quick. We can look at them both these guys real quick.
Yeah.
So I was just looking at deep passing. This is air yards, 20 air yards,
Hmm.
and Giovanni Gibson. Looking at comparing to Oklahoma, and let me get Oklahoma in here. I mean, we all know we didn't do much, but 20 plus air yards. Giovanni Gibson had 32 targets, 15 receptions, 581 yards, and 7 touchdowns.
Oh wow. Can you blow that
His
up just a
yards,
little bit,
yeah, yeah,
please? Yeah. Okay. Dang.
38 yards per reception,
Hmm.
18 yards per route, or 18 yards per reception. So like, is that right? Is my math right on that? Holy moly! I gotta check this. Like,
Yeah. No. No. Hester had.
yeah,
What's funny?
38
Hester
38
Hester's
yards reception, but
and
it's
and
filtered
Hester's
for deep
average is
passes, so
right
that
too.
makes sense.
Yeah.
So we're it's filtered for deep passes only. So that's why I
Hmm.
was like
Hmm.
38 yards, but it makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we had as collectively as a team, we had so again, Giovanni had 15 receptions over 20 air yards. We had 7. He doubled it. So we were saying all year there's a vertical element missing to this offense. We have to pass the ball 20 plus yards downfield. They went and got Sategna, a speedster, and a Giovanni Gibson
Hmm.
who
Hmm.
dominated his entire conference, really. And we could filter this on conference if we wanted to see like how does he stack up against the entire FCS. He was third in the FCS in receptions over 20 plus air yards. And he was yeah, I mean that's good. I mean that's what they're doing. They're trying to find inexpensive investments
Hmm.
early in the
Hmm.
portal
Hmm.
that can add elements to the offense that was missing, and then take their time, like you've mentioned before, for these players from playoff teams and other to jump into the portal, and then they can attack and get another more investments. So I see this just an easy, cheap investment that fits a role in the team. That was a missing element that absolutely just tarnished the offense. Like, we couldn't pass a ball downfield, and they're trying their best to find guys to alleviate that.
Yeah, you take Giovanni Gibson, Sategna and Keontae Lewis, from Southern Illinois is not it's not somebody that we can overlook either that they brought in. You bring in those two or three guys, and one thing that you and I haven't mentioned yet is the fact that Dion Burks and probably Jaden Gibson, will still be on campus. So, you have 4 or 5 guys that can, whether possession guys are taking the top off, whatever. Um, I like how they've started so far as incoming wide receiver guys in the portal.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just thinking we got a limited budget,
Mm-hmm.
and we don't want to throw out a big piece of pie early to somebody that doesn't deserve it. We find inexpensive options that can add to the team, to upgrade it, and then still be in play later in free agency to make a move to get a guy that surprises us, that jumps in. That's what at least I'm thinking.
Yeah, and I think that I don't know. I think you say his name, Jaron Bradley, the guy out of Boston College. I don't think
Yeah.
he's signed with Kansas State just yet. So I don't think the door is completely shut on him. He would be another nice addition if we could get him in now.
What team was he on last year?
Boston College.
Boston. Yeah, you said that. Sorry.
Yeah. So I think that would be another good early addition until we do, and get some of these guys that are coming from these losing playoff teams, and of course the spring portal. But it's a numbers thing at wide receiver. We had guys graduate. We had, I don't remember how many left. I'm just going to say 6, 7. I know it was a lot that hit the portal. So it's kind of a numbers game at this point, just to kind of fill that room again.
So Jaron Bradley, is there a reason why he only was targeted 17 times the whole year?
I don't. I don't know if he was injured. I don't know a whole lot about Boston College.
Huh.
If, they're kind of a run first type team or whatever. But
yeah,
he was definitely down on the. Yeah.
I mean, he ran 152 routes, which was the least amount of routes by any receiver.
That doesn't have games played, does it?
I might have.
I don't think so. That's okay. I'm just wondering. I could. Hey, while you're doing that, I can
actually.
Look it up.
Actually, hold on. I think I can. Yeah, I got his weekly. He played.
Okay.
He played the first 8 weeks, or the first 8 games. So it looks like he played 7 of the first 8. So I don't see a 9 through 10 on there, or 9 through the end of the year. Let me see here. I might have a game count. I might not. But yeah, that seems pretty low, I guess.
Yeah, it does. I know he started his career at Texas Tech. And so
was he recruited by Emmett?
I'm not sure if he was recruited by, but he definitely has a relationship with Emmett Jones. Sorry, I was just trying to do a quick Google, and I don't know why I can't find games played. But yeah, I have a feeling he didn't play a full year for one reason or another. But yeah, he's a guy that's still, I don't believe he committed to Kansas State, so he's kind of still in the potential of a guy that could end up signing with OU.
Yeah, I mean, I just we're going into a new year. I kind of want to stay away from receivers that have injury history or production problems. I'd much rather take the kid that's at a lower level that's had a ton of production and cheaper, most likely, to come in and bank on them versus somebody that hasn't produced or been available.
Right.
Availability
Yeah.
was a problem last year.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I know a couple of positions, we're wanting to fill, the tight end position. We finally got a tight end commitment today. Um, I think his name's Carson
Carson,
Kent. Yep.
yeah,
I
yeah.
hope he's Clark Kent because we really need we really need some improved production at that position.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know he was a today commit, so I don't expect you to have a ton of information
I
on him other than the fact he comes
I
from Kennesaw State, which
which we've
yeah,
talked about them. Thank
we
you,
have
Kennesaw State, for
not in a good
giving
light.
us a pillow at the bottom of our ball. It was
Yeah,
nice to land on you. Thank you.
yeah. Thank you for being 132nd in the country and some of the stats where we were 130th. We really appreciate that this year. We did get a punter from Kennesaw State, Jake Ulrich, who is a stud of a punter. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I got some Carson Kent. He's got a little bit of wheels.
Yeah,
This is the
yeah.
first time I've watched it. I literally just
What?
downloaded it. I figured we just
Oh,
watch it
nice.
together for the
Yeah.
first time.
And you don't need your tight end to be running no 4.5 or anything down the
Yeah, I
sidelines or
want I
anything.
want my I want my tight end to block people, to
Hmm.
maul people. Oh, there he is in the middle of the field. Oh, that was a good catch.
That was a good catch.
That was a good concentration catch there.
Hmm.
Ah, it doesn't seem too bad.
Now we have to remember this is Kennesaw State, so
Yeah,
whoever they're playing, Rob, if you
right.
can name that other team, I will give you a lot of money just by looking at
Uh,
their jerseys.
yeah, I have no idea. Hmm.
As
Anyway,
as Bob Stoops would say, it's probably East Popcorn State.
yeah, a lot of tight end leaks, man.
No,
Just
I'm
leaking them out. A lot of
he
tight end leaks.
definitely we need bodies in the
See,
room, so
there's another one.
he is a another body in that room right now because that's a room that's been depleted over the last few years for sure. And it's been well documented on our podcast how we feel about H backs and tight ends.
Yeah, yeah. Hmm. Yeah, I might dive into more of him
Yeah,
later. We
yeah,
can when we get, later in the year, we can do our positional breakdowns and our steakhouse reviews.
right. Yeah, we may have to do something different besides steakhouses and come up with something different this year,
Well, it has to be meat, right? So we do
like
like burgers.
like department stores, the Macy's
Ugh,
of
what?
whatever. I'm just throwing something out, but yeah, we can stick with the steakhouse. That was a very popular podcast that we did.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, it was fun. It also made me hungry during that podcast. I'll say that.
Maybe we get a maybe we can get like some sort of sponsors of meat out there,
There you go.
or small businesses owners or something. I don't know. Get them just to rank them. But
Right.
yeah, there's a lot of work to
So
do in the portal, man. A lot of
yeah,
transfer portal work to
yeah,
happen, and it. I'm waiting for some surprise portal additions. It doesn't feel like there's been many surprises yet. Feels like it's been pretty quiet.
yeah, yeah.
So
And I feel like there's no reason for OU not to be patient and make sure you're spending your NIL dollars, appropriately and play the long game and not just grab the first guys that you can.
yeah,
So so Rob, the title of our podcast is called Christmas Wishes. So if you had a Christmas wish for our for OU football, what would it be for this off season or coming year?
One of the my pet peeves for the last couple years, or at least since Braden Willis graduated, I want a damn H back, man. I want I want a Trey Millard or Ripkowski or a Flowers. I mean, we have had a like 2 decade long history of having an H back just poof vanish, and that is it. Just it. I just don't understand it because like you have the opportunity to have like 105 players on your roster, 105. You can have 2 dudes in your tight end room that are your H backs,
Hmm.
and they that are just blocking workhorses with soft hands. I mean, some of our my favorite memories are, one of my favorite memories is Millard doing the jump stiff arm and running 60 yards. That was a H back, Brad.
Yeah, I
And
remember
and
that.
that
Yeah,
position group just poofed. It went bye bye. And
yeah,
if I'm having a Christmas switch, bring back the damn H back. Like why not? Like why did that disappear? Is that
yeah.
Levy? Was that Riley? I have no
Right,
idea. It
right.
doesn't
No,
whoever did it, gone.
yep.
Bring it back.
No, it was pre Riley. You said it the best. The Trey Millard highlight in that Red River rivalry game where he just jumps up and some DB safety tries to come up and hit him, and he's like, "Get off me, you fly!"
Yep. Yep.
and runs for 60 yards. Don't forget too, Rob, in 20, don't quote me on the year, 2018, we go to Columbus, H-back.
Flowers.
Yeah, boom,
Just wide open over and
right?
over again.
Yeah, the fact that you and I just off the top of our head can sit here and think of memories of an H-back just tells you why or how absent it has been from our offense the last couple of years. And
It
um, I,
makes no sense. That is
I'm
so
with you.
stupid. That needs
Yeah,
to come back.
yeah.
And if Beat and Bo loves to run this counter, and Riley ran the counter. Riley had again Flowers and others. If we're wanting to run the counter like we did, starting from really picked up in that South Carolina game on having a blocking H back that can kick someone out or wrap someone in or whatever, like block, and then slip them out for an easy catch in the middle of the field, leak them out. And I mean, we lost those athletes and they're out there. There's tons of them in high school. There's tons of those athletes in high school that will come to OU and stick with us for 4 or 5 years
Mhm.
and be productive. There's plenty of them. I
Yeah,
don't know
those
why. I mean, it's one of I always thought that was like a cheap ad that Bob always
well,
did. He was
and
just like, "Oh, Flower? Oh, you want or Miller? Hey,
yeah,
yeah, well, it's easy
yeah,
scholarship.
yeah.
Come in, plug him in a
I feel like
role."
that's one of those guys you could find in state every single year if you needed to,
Yes.
right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So I'm with you. No, that's great. That's a great Christmas wish. Just kind of piggyback on that a little bit. I'm totally with you on the H back tight end room, and I'll just kind of jump on board and say just fill your needs this off season. You know, we're doing the overhaul of the offense. You know, this off season we hired Arbuckle. We got our quarterback.
Mhm.
We're trying to replenish the wide receivers. We're trying to add depth to that offensive room, or I'm sorry, the offensive line room. Yeah, just fill all the voids, and H back tight ends a glaring void that you need to fill. And you know, you and I've sat here and been critical on Joe John Finley or whoever just to get the guys on campus. We have Devon
Yeah.
Mitchell. That was a great get in our recruiting
Mhm.
class last year, but you know, the guy's maybe still 17 years old. I don't know, but he's still young and learning and developing. We just need we need a couple of guys on campus that can play that position that are multiple, just what you're suggesting. So, yeah,
Yep.
for me, it's just replenishing that offensive side of the ball and doing that 180 on that side of the ball in this offseason and getting it ready for next year. And then when August rolls around in September, just pray for some good health out of fall camp because
Right.
man, that's where it all started this past season. Just the downhill slide started in fall camp. So that's my Christmas wish for the off season.
Yeah, that's a good one. H back and fill in the needs. I like it.
Yep. So yeah, we play Navy. We play Navy this Friday. I know they run the triple option as much as I know most of the what is it? What I'm trying to say,
The wing T jet motion option.
Army, Navy, Air Force, they all run kind of versions of that a lot of times. But the one thing about playing a service academy is I never have any kind of hate for those
Yeah.
teams, and anybody that
No.
does, there's something wrong with you. So we
Right.
need to have a talk. So I never go into this game like, oh God, I hate this team. I just want to beat this team. It's just all about trying to win your next game. But
What's also going to be really cool about the game is the anthem. National anthem's going to be awesome. They're going to
that's
have some
true.
sort of flyby. They're going to have color guard
Legit.
and all
Yeah.
kinds of stuff. I mean,
I didn't
it's
even
the
think
Armed
about
Forces
that.
Ball.
Yeah.
They're going to have a great, a service man or woman singing the anthem. It's going to tear your eyes up, and then they're going to have some sort of flyover with a B-52 bomber. There's going to be something crazy.
Well, yeah,
It's going to get you juiced up to play this
sure.
the game.
And someone may parachute into the stadium, which if it's 10
Or that.
degrees, I'm not sure if they want to do that or not. That'd be kind of a chilly descent down. But yeah, you're right. I didn't even think about that. So yeah. But yeah, they run the triple option, fresh off a Army Navy win last week or about 10 days ago. Kind of an upset win. I think Army was favored then, but yeah, this is our first service academy opponent since 2016-17 when we played Army at home in a nail biter. I think we won 21-14. Something like that, where they had the ball for like 50 minutes. I'm exaggerating, but not much.
No, that sounds about right.
Yeah. So hopefully, I know, one of the main differences between service academies and schools like ours is we have a ton of opt-outs.
Right.
And, service academies don't ever opt out. They're always, they just don't opt out. I mean, we don't need to explain that, but so I don't know what kind of too deep that we're going to have going into that game, but it's an opportunity for some young guys to shine. We saw it 2 or 3 years ago, the Cheetos Bowl. That's when Barnes and Sawchuk made their appearance.
Yeah.
So it does happen. So I'm kind of looking forward to it just to see if there's a handful of guys that were like, wow, where was he all year and why didn't he play? Moments like that.
So it looks like the line is at 3.5 with OU favored.
You say that.
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, no. Yeah, Oklahoma's negative 3.5.
Yeah.
And Navy's plus 3.5.
It's funny because
with
you're like, OU
105?
favored? You say it question mark. And
that
used to be a given, Rob, that we
were
favored, but now it's not.
43.5 points.
So they're expecting.
So do we score 20? Because basically they're saying we score 20 to win.
I can almost guarantee, and you would have won a lot of money, that our offense will not score 20 points in the bowl game.
We've only done it twice.
Tulane?
Tulane was the last one?
That's been consistent. Yeah, for the last 9-10 weeks, is Tulane was the last time our offense scored 20 points in a game. Yeah. You know who probably scored more than 20 points in a game since September is probably Kennesaw State.
Oh man, I don't want to find that one.
Yeah. So yeah, hopefully we can go down there and just Michael Hawkins is probably going to be the starter. I'm hoping he can have a
Nice.
nice game. Yeah,
Yeah.
and we can run the ball, 40, 50 times a game and just get some young guys some good reps. I
Yeah.
can tell you that I can probably say this without hesitation. Probably be the healthiest offensive line we've had since spring.
Really. Who's
Uh,
well, I mean, we wouldn't have
I'm
Sexton though, right?
right, but I mean, surely the rest of them have to be pretty healthy that haven't left.
Yeah.
I know there's a
Yeah.
few guys that left, but I'm going out on a
Yeah.
pretty big limb there and saying that. But
Well, my big thing for this game is don't get injured. Let's not have any season injury ending injuries in December. Like we should be all in for next year with all these guys that are coming back. I don't want to see someone tear their ACL or anything bad. Like nothing bad. Like win the game, come out injury free.
yeah,
That would be that's the goal.
yeah, and I think if you're a defensive lineman, watch your knees because I think those Navy offensive linemen are going to be diving at your knees the whole game, just trying to get
Yeah.
5, 6 yards a run.
Yeah. Well, that's all I got on Navy,
Yeah,
man.
yeah. I
I
don't
just
I don't have a lot of takeaways from that either. I can't say that I've focused a whole lot on the Armed Forces Bowl. We're really happy to be in a bowl game and get the extra practices, but that's what we were talking about, a month ago is just get bowl eligible, get some reps, and the game. This isn't a game where you need to. Yes, we want to win so we can be above 500. I get it, but that's not why. You know, we just wanted the reps this month or whatever. So
yep.
yeah. I don't have anything else on that game either. So
No, let's wrap it up, man.
wrap it up. Yeah, appreciate everyone joining in. Again, this is our Christmas episode. So again, just Merry Christmas to all the families out there and everyone that's listening. We really appreciate you and just hope you enjoy some time with your family over the next few days. So appreciate it. Boomer Sooner and Merry Christmas. Thanks everyone.